You've worked hard for your money, but do you know how to make it work hard for you? You need a team with experience, vigilance, and a strategy to help you live the retirement you deserve. Find your financial safe haven with Haven Financial Group today. You're listening to the new and improved Haven Financial Group radio show, where we bring you comprehensive weekly financial wisdom from the professionals. It's all about helping you solve retirement problems so you can make your nest egg last. You're tuned to the Haven Financial Group radio show with your host, Larry Colvig and Kim Carrigan, your guides to weekly retirement confidence. If you're interested in protecting and growing what you have, let us be your financial safe haven. The phone lines are always open at 612-504-8400. Now, get your financial questions ready because the Haven Financial Group radio show starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. Thanks for listening. Give us a call at 612-504-8400 or visit us online at havenfinancialgroup.com. Kim, good to be with you. Every week we talk about retirement, what's important, what's going on. We're fourth quarter election coming, all the good stuff or maybe not so good stuff. Again, great to be with you once again.
Oh, it's great to be with you. I have looked forward to this all week because you guys came forward, I don't know, about a week and a half ago and said, hey, I think we'd like to do a special Haven show. And we'd like to bring in a very special guest, and that we have. And I think our listeners are really, really going to enjoy what we have for them today. Today, it's the story of Haven Financial. And Larry, why don't you introduce who's with us today?
Sounds good, Kim. I know a little bit about her. She is the office manager, but more importantly, she's my wife of 28 years. We have 4 daughters together, but Rochelle Colvig is with us, who's really the people person, I would say, in the office. Many would attest they come to see her, not necessarily me or any of the other staff. But at the end of the day, it's great to have her with. Maybe a little nervous, Kim, just to give it away just because she's not been on. But I think you and the listeners will find she has a gift of discussing things and talking, and she loves people, which is very evident in the workplace.
Well, Rochelle, welcome. I'm so glad that you're with us today. I so enjoy your husband for 1 hour a week, and I know that this is going to be a real treat to get a chance to get to know you as well. So I'm going to start with my very first question to Rochelle, and that is, where did you guys meet? You've been married 28 years. I'll bet you knew one another a little before then. So give me a sense of this relationship.
Oh, wow. We met 31 years ago, and I was out with some friends, socializing, and a group of friends. I worked at Planet Hollywood, so I've served and been in customer service my whole life. And I was out with one group of friends, and I ran into another group of friends that said, hey, there is a guy that we really want you to meet. He's the captain of the Bethel golf team, a strong Christian guy. I think you would just absolutely connect well. And I said, oh, thank you, but I'm not interested. But by the end of the night, he walked over and he said to me, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm a poor college student. I think I have 28 cents to my name, but you kind of look like high maintenance, but I would love to get to know you.
And the rest is history. There you have it.
The rest is history. I love the transparency and someone that just speaks from the heart and truthful.
And I can attest that is a true story, Kim, 100%. And I'm not sure I had 28 cents. It might have been 10 cents.
But these are the great moments that first off, you can tell all your daughters. And I know they know that story. Now you're telling your listeners, believe it or not. But what's great about it is just what you just said, Rochelle. What we see from Larry is absolutely transparency, and a warmth about him. And I'm sure that has played a big part in the Haven story. So you guys obviously started to date, and eventually you decided this was a lifetime thing and you got married. Then you started to have those babies. Tell us a little bit about those young ladies.
Well, I was 23 when we got married, and we wanted to wait a few years. We wanted to kind of do things that we knew that once we had children, we wouldn't be able to do. So we wanted to travel. and enjoy each other before we brought other people into the world. So we waited a few years, and both of our grandparents were strong praying grandmothers. And they were writing each other, and we had no idea, but they were praying behind the scenes because they were worried because it had been several years and we hadn't had any children and weren't talking about it. So these grandmothers were plotting behind the scenes, worried that we hadn't started having kids yet. But we kind of had planned that way. Larry's always been a planner, and myself. And so we had our first child when I was 27, and that was Paris.
Yeah. And 3 since.
And yep. And then our next set was twins. That was a whole nother story. And that was a blessing. We were so excited because when we first started dating, I said, I just want to let you know that one day I would love to have twins. And matter of fact, I think I said I'm going to have twins, which was just one of those things I always believed would happen. And he thought I was a little bit crazy for saying one day I would have twins, because you don't just say that. And our first was a singleton, right? Our daughter, Paris. And so then our next pregnancy was twins, and it was a heart's desire since I was a little girl. And so we were just both very excited. And then after the 3, the real story is we were completely done. And he said, I just want to let you know that I have scheduled the appointment. And I said, I know you're done and I'm done. And we have no desire to have any more. But you know what? I wonder if God's plan is if we're done, right? Mm-hmm. So we postponed the appointment with Larry. And we took that week to really just make sure that we partnered not only with ourselves, but the Lord, and started praying about if God's, if that was his desire that we have 3, or if there was any more in our future. And we're so glad we did that, because we knew fairly after, without a doubt, both of us had confirmation that he had one more for us, and that's Monet. And boy, did she complete our family. And we can't imagine if we didn't listen to that plan and include her in our family plan.
Mm-hmm.
And if I may add, Kim, because I think it's important that I do, is when she said she was going to have twins, she said, I'm going to have twins, because that's the way she talks. And I went in one ear, out the other ear, and I'm like, not a chance. We don't have any twins in our family. Are you kidding me? And I remember vividly, because she's a great cook and I love breakfast, for a time frame there, she would make eggs, because I like eggs. And there would be twin yolks several times. And I don't know if we've ever had a twin yolk since. And after that, it was like unbelievable. Yeah. We had twins. There's more to the story. And yeah, we gave all our girls' clothes away. And then we felt like we're supposed to have one more. Wouldn't change it for the world. But yes, that's how we got 4.
Well, that's fantastic. What a great story. So let's back up just a bit now. During the course of this, Larry, I know that you went to work in this profession, not with Haven. There was no Haven at that point. You were working elsewhere.
Yeah, that is correct. I worked with a captive company in St. Louis Park. It's there where I started learning about retirement advising. We had background in business ownership and other things, so I was always been in business. But then I kind of made a detour back 25 whatever years ago. Started with a captive, learning a new industry, retirement advising, all of these different areas. And it was great. Fancy building, glass building, waterfall, real fancy dancy. Captive, big company. And for a while, great place to learn, but it was very evident after a period of time that are our clients really just a number? Why is upper management changing things that we're building out? And it didn't take me long to figure out that it wasn't necessarily the right thing to do in all cases for the client. It was made oftentimes, not always, about the pocketbook, about money, and that was the big thing that didn't sit well with me, and I was not going to change it. Stayed there, not probably. I resist change very much, and she would attest.
Yes.
And we started Haven Financial Group. I knew I wasn't going to change it, so the only way to do it is start a different company, which Haven started, I believe, nine and a half years ago. And we are where we're at today, where we could put, and it took time, man, did it take time, multiple personalities in all the different retirement areas that you and I talk about on a weekly basis, where people could come to us, not that they have to do everything under the same roof, but there's resources under the same roof. And that is the biggest compliment we get. And today, again, we've expanded 3 times in 9.5 years. We're very blessed and fortunate, but comes with hard work. But that was kind of the story behind the story of where Haven started.
Well, I have to tell you, I love that story, and I want to tell you why, because it proves to our listeners what I have come to know about you, Larry, over, just having a personal relationship. And that is that you're not, you've been very honest. Listen, I have to work and we have to get paid for this, but we're in this for another reason. We're in this to make sure that people are knowledgeable about the next phase in their life and that it's the best that it can possibly be. And you've just verified that with the idea that maybe corporate America wasn't exactly what was great for you, because let's face it, corporate America isn't always looking out for the little guy or anybody for that matter.
That is completely true. And as we grow, the number one goal, and it's very, very important, and anybody can say it, is we want to make people feel that they're invited here, that they feel comfortable. If we're never going to take it away, but if we ever took away that one-on-one, hey, we feel like we're okay to spend time with you. We don't want to rush things. We're not too busy. You get 15 minutes to a half hour. No. We like to err on plenty of time. We don't want to rush anybody, because this is literally retirement that people have been planning for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Why rush something now when it's so important going into these retirement years?
Absolutely. People have to feel comfortable too. If they're not comfortable, then they're in the wrong place.
Exactly.
So listen, we want to talk about, you've led us right perfectly into the mission of Haven Financial. And we're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. But before we go to this break, we want to remind everybody how they can get hold of you and Rochelle and the rest of the team there at Haven Financial. It's 612-504-8400. Let me give you that number again. It's 612-504-8400. You can also reach out, havenfinancialgroup.com. When we come back, Larry and Rochelle are going to talk to us about their mission when it comes to Haven Financial Group and how all of this wonderful company got started. You're listening to the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.
Don't go too far. We're gathering more important insights and retirement wisdom. The Haven Financial Group Radio Show will be right back. Stick around. You've got questions, we've got answers. You're tuned to the Haven Financial Group Radio Show with your host, Larry Kulvig and Kim Carrigan. Now, back to the show.
Good morning and welcome back to the Haven Financial Group Radio Show. Thanks for listening this morning. Again, Kim going to be with you, and my wife, Rochelle, office manager at the Haven Financial Group. Feel free to give us a call, 612-504-8400. or havenfinancialgroup.com. Lots of great tools on that site. Safe Haven community. We share information. Really, really fun stuff. So I really encourage you to go. Again, today, a little bit about Haven, about who we are. A little bit different of a show, but I hope you're enjoying it.
So I want to start this segment again with Rochelle, because we've just talked about the fact that Larry had worked in a large firm, and there were some things about that maybe didn't coincide with your values. And so you made the decision that maybe you would step out on your own. You guys had young babies. Rochelle, how did you feel about the idea of going out on your own and starting this company when you're young and when you've got babies and there's a lot at stake?
Well, the big thing is my husband does not like change at all. And so we knew that he was supposed to start his own for quite some time. And he was kind of bucking the system. He was dragging his feet, and I kept encouraging him, if you're going to do it, this is the time, this is the age, this is the time. And, we got this. Let's do this. And I never was going to work with him. So I came from the spa industry. I actually back up. I was a server for a lot of years. So customer service. I love people. I love being a servant. I have no problem taking care of people, and I love that. And so then I was in the spa industry, and he started his own, and he had a great front desk person, a family member, and she was a wonderful person, did a great job, but she was called into another area. So he had asked, hey, will you come and help me out at the front for a month, just at the front while I'm hiring? And I have been here, 7 years now?
She's still helping out.
Yeah, I'm still helping out.
It sounds like it. So but you knew that this was the right thing for him. You knew that this was the mission all along.
I knew that he wanted to do things differently. And I knew that he would be in the industry, and there was frustrations where he always felt like people need to be aware of their own stuff. And education needs to be and is important for people to understand their own stuff, especially women. You know, it's one of those things that you'd think I know everything about it because my husband's in the industry. But every time I attend a workshop or I listen, I'm still learning all the time. So that's not my natural area. But I love people, and the fact that we get to work together has always been great. So we're a nice complement to each other. But when you work with your husband, you came in and it was taking care of the front. And sometimes you assume that they are who they say they are. But when you actually see him, melted my heart in the fact that if we had somebody that wanted to make a quick decision. So let's say somebody just lost a husband and they wanted to make some financial decisions. I literally got to see my husband go, no, you know what? Let's just wait. This isn't the timing. Let's slow down. Where it kind of is like, wow, okay, he is who he says he is. And I'm actually witnessing it. It isn't just about a sale. It's really about taking care of people. And that's my heart. I've been around salespeople my whole life. And if it really doesn't have the heart of what's best for the client, I don't want any part of it. And for me to be able to see and experience that was pretty spectacular. So being part of this journey has been really fun to build something special.
I want to remind everybody the number is 612-504-8400. That's how you get hold of Haven Financial. We're talking about the mission of Haven. So Larry, you knew all along that there were things that you didn't like out there in corporate America. You start Haven Financial Group. We've just heard Rochelle explain some of the things that certainly made you different. But you tell me, what makes Haven different? What is it that you've set out to do and you believe you're accomplishing?
Yeah, a little bit back up a little bit too. You know, I don't want to make it sound like it's been an easy journey, because any entrepreneur or business owner out there that starts a company knows that it's a lot of work, and it takes discipline and diligence. And we started with just a front desk person and an advisor that's still with me today, who came right out of master's out of college in economics and finance, and a great advisor, a great guy to start a business with. And we took three of us, and now I think we're about at 15, and built out 3 different times. Now, there was some really tenuous times in that 2 to 3 mark, which oftentimes there is in starting a business. And then thankfully we've turned the corner, and through COVID we excelled, and we never took the foot off the gas pedal. And that's where I'll always go back to my roots. You know, work for both of us is not difficult. We enjoy it. We always are challenged to have more balance. And that really, for me, that stems from my dad, who's 79, and my mom's 77. They are in harvest now. They still farm. Picture my mom that's up in a bucket in the apple tree last week. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing at 77? But that's where their work ethic started, because this took work. And then it took the right people along the way, slowly, methodically. That again, it was no chance that certain individuals came into play here. And that's what really makes the chemistry of the company, the personalities that go with it, because that makes the company. You know, I would hope people say it all the time, there's nothing stuffy about this place. I love when I hear it feels good, it feels right. I always say if there's never should be any pressure in this environment whatsoever. If it doesn't feel right, you're in the wrong spot. We're not perfect for everybody, but through conversation, and I mean that conversation, you know, we're able to tell if people are a fit for us and if we're a fit for them. So again, the chemistry and the personalities, that's really what makes it.
Well, I think transparency is really important to you as well.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Anybody can say something, but their behaviors and how they back things up, that's really what it's all about. And we're very blessed in this industry. I always say nothing's free. I say on the show weekly that people should know what they're paying. We're very, very fortunate. But at the end of the day, it has to be a win-win for everybody. And again, I'm not against these big captive companies at all. I mean, I see what their CEOs make and more power to them. But we would be the polar opposite. We would be more of a boutique, a relatable. And remember, we're doing all the retirement puzzle pieces under the same roof, not just one of them or two of them, all of them.
Yeah. Larry, I also am really interested in the fact that you said that you started this company with a front desk person and another advisor, and that advisor is still with you today. Now, to me, that speaks volumes about the kinds of relationships that you have with people you're working with the people who come in, who are your customers. I mean, that really is important.
It is. And I'm not a micromanager. We're not a micromanager. We all have same and very similar belief systems. We got mouths to feed. We're motivated. And yes, it's great. It's so fun to see us take care of clients, but also as a business owner, it is equally enjoyable to see families and employees of ours that their lives and their families are affected, and we're able to help them as much as we are the clients and the customers we serve. So it really is. It's a blessing. It's a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, we take these topics are very serious. We like to have lots of fun, but we do take them seriously. And people put a lot of trust in us and all the people that we work for, and we're very appreciative of that.
Mm-hmm. Rochelle, I loved what you said about the fact that Larry, and I feel confident it's others in the shop, take seriously women and women being knowledgeable. Now, Larry's a man who's circled by women, so he better take them seriously, right?
Oh, I do.
We know that for sure.
Yes.
But having said that, I think that's really important because there's a lot of women who are out there and are putting together their retirement plans, and a lot of people don't take them seriously.
I agree. It's even in the time that I've worked with Larry and the team, I've seen more and more women attending workshops and educating themselves. Sometimes with girlfriends, hey, the husband's at home, but I just wanted to get an understanding of some more pieces. And I love seeing women educate themselves because, my father generation, he just handled it all. And don't ask questions. I got it all. Well, the problem is sometimes the timeline of my father passed before my mother. And so, and now people are going, I have no idea. I've never done any of this. I have no idea what we have. So I really think it's great to see people do the retirement planning as a family, and that both people are very educated on all the pieces that they have and share together.
Mm-hmm. And you have a firm that takes them seriously. Let's share the telephone number at 612-504-8400. That's how you get hold of the folks there at Haven Financial Group. Call. Let them know that you heard us here on the radio. Set up a free consultation with Larry or another member of the team. And as Larry and Rochelle both have said, it's really important that you, as someone who's planning your retirement, that you feel comfortable with the team you're working with. And it's very important that Larry and the team feel comfortable with you. Not everybody's a perfect fit, but certainly it's worth giving it a try. 612-504-8400. You can also go to havenfinancialgroup.com. When we come back, we're going to walk you through the steps as if you were walking through the front door of Haven Financial Group to find out exactly what happens. I have a feeling there could be cookies in your future. This is the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.
Ready to find your financial safe haven? Your dream retirement is in reach. Don't go away. The Haven Financial Group Radio Show will be right back. Are you worried that your financial strategy might be missing something? Well, you're in the right place. Larry Colvig is back and ready to help you find your financial safe haven.
Good morning, and again, welcome back to the Haven Financial Group Radio Show. We appreciate you listening this morning. Give us a call at 612-504-8400 or havenfinancialgroup.com. Kim, we meet a lot of people through a variety of different ways, and we're very fortunate through referrals, lots of educational classes, which we're going to talk about in the next segment. You can go to our website and see all those classes. But we have a process. And we have that same process, whether it's a friend or a family member or anybody that comes through that front door on those first meetings. And I want to tell listeners, there's no cost to come in and take advantage of retirement readiness review. Talk about any of the retirement topics. There is no obligation. There's no high pressure, no nothing. You have nothing to lose. And if you haven't done that in a long time, or you're not getting the attention you really truly deserve, give us a call. Come on in. It could be a lot more fun than you think so.
So, Rochelle, I think now this process really starts with a phone call, correct?
Yeah. If somebody makes a phone call and sets up an appointment, we schedule a time either with one of the retirement specialists, so either Jeff Frick or Mitch Moss. They typically do the first meeting, which we call a discovery meeting. And it really is just that. We're kind of getting to know you and you're getting to know us. And we'd like to do a Social Security timing report looking at what's the best for your situation, specifically for you. And you get a 14-page report that you take with you regardless. It's not a sales pitch. It's no hot seats, would I say. If somebody put me in a room and did any sales on me or pressure, I'm out the door as fast as it can be. Right. So it really is just kind of, we want to answer your questions. We want you to come with questions. If you have a recent Social Security report to kind of know what you would be getting at your full retirement age, bring that with you. If you have other investments that you would like reviewed to your comfort level, you're welcome to bring with you. But if you really just want to come with questions and bring nothing else, that's okay too. Whatever they're comfortable with, we're okay with.
And typically, how long are those meetings?
We book out for an hour and a half if it's a 45-minute quick questions or it's a full 90 minutes. We book out 90. We don't want someone feeling rushed, and we don't want someone to feel like they didn't get their questions answered. And so in that meeting, they talk about all different areas of retirement. And, they would say they're trying to see if there's any areas that need to be highlighted and to be looked at under a better light.
Right.
And Kim, I'd add to that, the experience to me is extremely important. Because many of us and listeners have gone into an office where it's just stuffy. Everybody was all business before you even get started. It starts with them walking through the front door. And we're humans. There's a human element. We strive to be the best we possibly can. But Rochelle, describe as they come in, Kim mentioned cookies. Describe that a little bit because that is true. Beverages, you know how to make a real mean cappuccino, as everybody says. Or just the experience. Talk more about that.
Customer service is my first love. I can't stress enough how important it is to me. So I really want people to feel welcome. Yes, we're in the financial business, but truthfully, we're in the people business. It's relationships. It's not about a quick deal. It's about a long-term relationship. And so from the moment you walk in, it's about getting you comfortable. What can I get you to drink? And our stock for our client servicing kitchen is ridiculous. They're like, oh, what do you have? Do you have pop? We have it all. Name a pop that you might like. I guarantee we probably have it. So whatever it is that they would like to enjoy to make them relaxed, from warm cookies that are made fresh. We don't make them in the morning and have them sit there. They are literally put in for every meeting. So they are served warm. We use Sweet Martha's, local company, and they are served for every meeting.
Yeah, which is just so great. It's so fun. And that is a comfort. There's no two ways about it. Something that was just said too really sticks out in my mind. You guys are in it for the long haul, a really long relationship. Larry, I would imagine that you meet couples who are 51, 52 years old, and you are meeting with a widower or widower at some point. It can be that long a relationship.
It certainly can. And when couples come in together, which we strongly encourage, I'll commend them because oftentimes one of the two doesn't really care. They care that there's money there, of course, but they really don't care because the spouse is taking care of all of it. Mm-hmm. But I commend them being there because eventually there's going to come a day where they're going to be the decision maker, more than likely. And I can give you hundreds of examples. I won't, where people have come in and one of them really enjoys doing the investments, if that's what we're talking about. Yet at the end of the day, I'll ask them, you love doing this on the investment side. What do you want me to help with? Because I'm here to help. Well, I've had 2 heart attacks, and at the end of the day, my wife needs, or spouse needs to be in a good spot where a relationship has been kindled prior to something happened, because life happens. It's eventually something's going to happen. And that's not a good time to start interviewing or trying to get comfortable. I like those relationships seasoned prior to that. And, you know, we just lost a wonderful, wonderful man here, who Len, he was a do-it-yourselfer. And 9 years ago, 8.5, 9 years ago, I asked that same question to him. And his wife said, Len handles all of it, but I need to be prepared. Len fought, 3-time cancer survivor. And we lost him a couple weeks ago. But about a month before, actually, they came in to make sure the I's were dotted, T's were crossed. And he's like, I don't think I'm going to make it through this one, Larry, but I know you've got her taken care of. And those are relationships that you just can't make up. And again, that's why, whether it's widows or widowers, you know, we see them all. And sometimes people call and say, now what? Take time to mourn first. And at the end of the day, we'll take care of this after you take time to mourn. So, you know, we have a lot of laughs, but the more longer I continue to do this, we have the tears that go with it. But it's fulfilling to know that we made Len proud, and we're going to take care of his spouse.
Yep. Let's talk a little bit about how frequently you see your clients.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Larry, how many times can we come in? Now, what I will preface it by saying is we have some that do taxes, investments, Medicare, healthcare, estate planning. So there's a variety of retirement puzzle pieces that you and I talk about weekly. Some go into 4 different rooms. Some will come in monthly. Some will come in quarterly. And I say this, and I truly mean it. There's no quota as to how many times you can come in. Now, some want it quarterly, some want it more often, some don't want as much. So it's really individualized. But what I will tell you is, if listeners are not getting, in all these retirement areas, more than a 45-minute to an hour meeting once or twice a year, I'll tell you that you're not getting the attention you deserve in all these different retirement topics. Not that we try to make us look smarter or make things look more complicated. It's really to explain things, to give people a comfortability, which gives them more confidence. And that's really important as you go into retirement or stay in retirement. That's really important. So no, there's no quota. I'd like to see people more than less.
I would assume probably there are times in the course of your relationship with individuals that they need to see you more. And then they don't need to see you so much. So if I see you at 52, we might need to get some things set up, and then I don't need to see you again. But at 65, I start to draw. I need more help. I need to make sure I'm doing all the right things. And, you know, so then I need to see you more frequently. And then maybe I get to 75 and I've moved to Florida, and you either have to come see me or I can't see you.
That is true. Kim, we both travel very well, and we actually have, yes, we do. And that is very true. There is different seasons of life. And I will tell you, as people come on board, we'll see more of as they get closer to retirement and they have more topics that they want to discuss. Right now, the hot ones right now is Medicare. Open enrollment just started.
Sure.
Glenn and Isabella do a great job in those areas. And then tax season will be around the corner, and tax planning for fourth quarter. So again, we want people to see people more than probably they've ever been seen before, not because we're trying to bother them or oversee things so tightly, but people want the attention and they deserve it.
Absolutely. Let's give everybody the telephone number. It's 612-504-8400. That's 612-504-8400. You've just heard the process, folks. You give them a call, set up an appointment. It's free. It's a consultation. You can spend 45 minutes. You can spend 90 minutes just getting to know Haven Financial Group and allowing Haven to get to know you. If you're someone who is looking at maybe you already have a portfolio and you question whether it's appropriate. Maybe you don't have one and you need one. And Larry always likes to say, it doesn't matter if you're big or if you're small. It's important that you see someone and you have a plan. Your retirement is your retirement. 612-504-8400. Coming up next, Rochelle is going to talk to us a little bit more about some of these educational seminars. She not only, I think, is involved with organizing them, but I think she attends a lot of them as well. So we're going to hear more about that. In the meantime, you're listening to the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.
Don't go too far. We're gathering more important insights and retirement wisdom. The Haven Financial Group Radio Show will be right back. Stick around. You've got questions, we've got answers. You're tuned to the Haven Financial Group Radio Show with your host, Larry Kulvig and Kim Carrigan. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the Haven Financial Group Radio Show. Thanks again for listening. 612-504-8400. Give us a call. Or online, havenfinancialgroup.com. All kinds of events coming up, which we're going to talk about. We teach these classes throughout the year because retirement's an ongoing thing, and people are entering the golden years almost every single day of the year. So we find it very, very, very important. And Kim, let's talk about some of those classes and what that looks like. And then if we could talk about maybe after those classes, how we continue to like to strengthen those relationships. Mm-hmm. My wife, Rochelle, is an amazing event planner. And at Haven Financial Group, we like to do client events.
Sure. Well, going back, and we'll certainly talk about that, but going back to these educational events, these, I'm going to call them seminars. Larry, something that you say on the show here each and every week, and I think is a real cornerstone for Haven Financial, and that's that education is imperative. People really need to educate themselves about all kinds of topics in an effort to make their retirement successful.
I would agree. I frequently ask the question to classes, these classes, by the way, Kim, have no cost. We provide materials. Almost everyone has a workbook that we have designed. All the materials are for them to keep. They walk out of there with a lot of good information after we've gone through it. Sometimes, I ask the question, do you remember all the classes growing up that taught you how to make all the perfect retirement decisions? And usually there's a chuckle, no, we don't remember. And so oftentimes people try to wing it. They'll do the water cooler mentality and ask their brother, their sister, their uncle, or whomever. And that's not always, oftentimes it's the worst place to get information. Yes, you can do online learning, and we're for all the different types of education. But I learn best in the classroom, as a lot of people my age and other ages do, and that's where we teach. We have all the resources online and all that stuff as well, but it's really getting the people the information to make educated decisions, rather than just swinging it and making a decision and then regretting, what in the world did I just do? That's what we want to help people avoid, is the wrong, or maybe not the best retirement decision.
Sure. Rochelle, I know you said that you attend a lot. I'm sure you attend a lot for administrative purposes, but I also believe that you probably just stand in the back and listen. So talk to us a little bit about some of the actual educational seminars that are held and what you've drawn from them.
Well, we have a maximizing Social Security and taxation, because we do talk about the tax piece. We have a new one that we've brought back recently, Truth About Annuities, which is a great class that we just recently had and we'll schedule again. And then we also have a Medicare 101 class, or Medicare Made Simple, where we really break down Medicare, which is very complicated. And it's a great class. They all include workbooks. And what we do is under havenfinancialgroup.com/events, all our upcoming educational seminars are always posted and kept to date. So, and you can just click on register and sign up to attend. And they usually are about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 30. They do take questions, which is always great. But they really, you learn a lot. I've attended so many and I still get nuggets. I still learn things, which is amazing. So, and sometimes, clients will call and go, hey, I would love to attend one of your seminars, but I'm a client. I don't care if you're a client or not. You continue to educate yourself. Even if it's a dinner, please come out. Of course, you can continue to learn and educate because I'm still always learning something from the team.
Absolutely. And they're in all different parts of the Twin City area.
Yeah, we're not limited in scope to any certain areas. Our office is in the South Metro, but we have people come from all over. And again, you can find that on havenfinancialgroup.com/events. I've done, I'm not trying to date myself, but I've done a lot of classes over all the years that I've done this. And, I think of Linda, who's just a Spitfire that was in here a couple months ago, and we're honored to be able to help her in her retirement planning. And she's like, Larry, I went to your class 11 years ago. It took me long enough to get in here, but now I'm ready. And Linda, she brings her dog in every time. She's just a wonderful lady. Just like we're able to serve so many like that. But, whether you heard me 10 or 15, 20 years ago, or you just heard me last week, hey, we're not on any timeline. This is your timeline. Problem is people get stuck in their timeline and then all of a sudden nothing ever gets done. The old, a failure to plan is a plan to fail, not because we want people to fail. Well, Larry, we're thinking about it. And 30, 40 years later, they're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
We're not rushing anybody, but it's your timeline. And if you're listening going, yep, that's me and my wife. The timeline's been 10, 15 years and we're still thinking about it. So we can do more than that. We can have a conversation. And it's just a conversation.
Sure, absolutely. 612-504-8400. That's how you start that conversation, folks. Or you go to havenfinancialgroup.com to look up some of these educational seminars. Remember, you do need to register because Larry and Rochelle, they need to sort of get a number associated with the space and that kind of thing. So just be sure you check it out. Maybe you have a lot of questions about Social Security. Maybe you have a lot of questions about taxes. Maybe you have a lot of questions about all of them. And if that's the case, I believe, and I don't want to put words in your mouths, but you could attend more than one seminar if you so choose, correct?
Absolutely. I think it's important. If you are still learning and educating yourself, please keep attending. The one thing that's amazing when I started working with my husband and this industry is if we're having a simple project done at the house, we have a family rule where we'll get 2 to 3 bids, keep everybody honest. But with retirement, you work your whole life to acquire assets, but then it's like, I have a guy. Why wouldn't you ever just want to get a second opinion or a third opinion? And you can't lose anything. Worst case scenario, stay the course with your guy. But it's amazing that people wouldn't want to just get another opinion sometimes.
Absolutely. And Rochelle, I want you to talk a little bit about those client events because I've never attended one, but boy, Larry talks about them and it does sound like it's a pretty terrific experience.
Customer service has always been a thing. And again, relationships. So we have a lot of fun. We're a financial office, but we do have a lot of fun. Sometimes Larry has to say, okay, you guys are having way too much fun out of here. But our client events are really just an extension of the office. We get to be casual and just get to know our clients and hopefully some of their loved ones, children. We just had a big one at Charlie's on Prior Lake where we rent the restaurant out for the day. And I don't have the final numbers, but it's usually around 750 to 800 people come out to our event. We rented it for the whole day because we actually had 2 sessions and we just really have fun, fellowship, go on boat rides, listen to music, and just continue to cultivate those relationships that mean so much to us. Around the holiday times, we have 2 days where we have holiday centerpiece pickup. And this year we're having Can Do Canines come and bring some of the service animals that we've sponsored to be able to connect with Santa. And so just, again, relationships where a lot of financial people would not want to get all their clients in a room together so they can talk about them.
Right.
I say, bring it on. If you have any questions or haven't officially become a client, Or we might invite you to that event so you can ask people, how is it working with this team? Are they who they say they are? What's your experience been like? I think transparency is a beautiful thing, and it's not us saying anything about ourselves. Talk to people that worked with us.
Mm-hmm. So, Larry, if we've come to, unfortunately, almost the end of our hour. So tell me, what is it that you want people to take away from today's show outside of the fact that you're married to a lovely woman?
Yeah, I think so too after 28 years, and I still say that. But I want them to leave going, that was a different experience that we got down the road. Those guys actually do care. They are genuine. She mentioned our client events. We love to give back. And I had several couples at our big event going, I know you guys don't have to do this, but it's pretty amazing that you do it anyways. We enjoy it. You know, we know we're cultivating long-term relationships. There's no secret. But we also, a lot of times I always say with, cell phone bills and this and that, they'll always take care of the new person, but they don't really care about the one that's been loyal for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
We don't want to ever give that up. We do not take that for granted. So whether you've been with us for a long time or you're just listening to us on the radio for the first time or anything in between, we want to give that same attention, one-on-one attention. We're not perfect. We have like kind of 24-hour rule where we like to respond to phone calls or emails. We never, and I truly mean this, and I say it to the staff, I really don't have to because they know it. We don't want to be the stereotype that says, wow, I talked to my guy or gal 5 years ago and haven't heard from him since. Mm-hmm. That would be very unfortunate, and it's a very unfortunate stigma in our industry, and we never want to be that. So we want to be relatable, and we really cherish the relationships that we have.
612-504-8400, folks. That is the way you get hold of Haven Financial Group. Call today. Let's set up an appointment. Go in and have a good cup of coffee and some cookies and get some information and see if this is the perfect fit. Or you can go to havenfinancialgroup.com. This has been a delight. Rochelle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you, Kim. We look forward to next week. And go Vikings.
Have a great week, everyone.
Investment advisory service is offered through Guardian Wealth Strategies, LLC. Haven Financial Group and Guardian Wealth Strategies, LLC are not affiliated companies. And investments involve risk and unless otherwise stated, are not guaranteed. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor and or tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed herein. And comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams only refer to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company.